Users all over Ghana and live life the brighter way. So just Momo it. MTN. Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to the Midday News. The Midday News is live on Joy 99.7 FM here in Accra, in Kumasi on Love 99.5 FM and over 30 affiliates across Ghana's 16 regions. We're on KTU Radio in Koforidua, ATL FM in Cape Coast, Radio Max in Takrade, Radio Y in Walolonyo FM in Hohoi. We're also on Spotify, Facebook and myjoyonline.com app. This afternoon, 12 more hours for unregistered SIM cards to be blocked as thousands of Ghanaians race against time to beat the deadline.
Yeah, the Ghana card is not ready. How can I register my SIM card?
That people who go to have the authority to block the cards today, they should be very careful. So today, if we did it, I didn't get it today. I think they will send me to military barrack.
We're live in Accra, and Kumasi Plus lawyers who are in court on this matter say the NCA cannot go ahead to impose such sanctions. The NCA, however, disagrees.
So the decision to go to court now is actually after the fact because the directive was long issued and there's no way we are going to issue anything from what I know.
A pastor and a chief alleged to be involved in the murder of a nursing student confessed to killing 2 more people. We have chilling details for you, including the arrest of people who dug the hole where the victims were buried. Inadequate personnel and logistics support hampering work of the Customs Division of the Ghana Revenue Authority at the country's second busiest land border at Elubo.
We want an injection of vibrant and very, very energetic young men who will help us do that. Logistically, we are down. If you look at most of the agencies that we have here, they are all actually furnished with things like
We have details as the Customs Division of the GRA says despite the challenges, it has been able to exceed its annual target for 2022. We have sports.
Black Stars can make World Cup Final 4. That's from a high FIFA performance specialist. We'll hear from him in 20 minutes.
Okay, and understanding the man who often takes a controversial stance on national issues.
I've never been happy with Asamoah up to today.
too much shouting connotes an absence of intelligent thinking. Asha 2, Asha 3, Asha 1. Who is this girl? Asha this, Asha that, Asha that. What is it about that?
We have a special feature on Adansi Asukwa MP Katie Hammond, and I'll also tell you about the world's best written comedy, Run for Your Wife. That and more here on the Midday News with me, Emefa Apawu. We settle for details now. This is your home of independent, fearless and credible journalism. We start from the central region where it is emerging this afternoon that the pastor and the local chief at Mankasim in the central region alleged to be involved in the murder of a student nurse have confessed to killing 2 more people. The pastor, Christopher Echo Clark, and the Tufuhin of Ekumfi, Akwakrum, Michael Dakon, are believed to have conspired to kill Georgina Asobuche and buried her in the chief's room after her family failed to pay a ransom. They are also being held for the murder of one Gloria Yeboah, who was a petty trader, and 2 others. Central Regional Correspondent Richard Kojonyako joins us on the line with more details on this developing issue. Richard, what further details has the police provided?
Well, so Emefa, on Thursday, the police led the 2 accused persons in this murder case to the residence of Christopher Eko Kwansa Clark, the Tufuhin of Ekumfi Akwakrum, where it is believed that most of their criminal activities were carried out. So the 2 have allegedly confessed to killing 3 or more people. To further the investigations, they sent the police to their sources where these crimes were allegedly committed. So the police said 2 females have so far been confirmed dead, and their relatives have gone for their bodies. So they led the police to the various locations they had confessed to perpetrating this crime. Scores of the people gathered at the chief's residence to ostensibly catch a glimpse of them. They poured innuendos, cast aspersions, held all manner of insult at them, and hooted at them eventually. So the police thoroughly searched the rooms and took vital documents and information for the investigation. From there, the 2 led a team of investigators to a location where a male teacher was allegedly invited by them and was shot and killed instantly. The police were also taken to another location in Ekunfi where they allegedly shot and killed a female trader and buried her under a bridge. The team of investigators proceeded to Batanya, a town in the Abra Sibukwamankase district, where they allegedly killed a young lady from Kumasi. The second murdered victim, Gloria Yeboah, a petty trader from Obokrum in Kumasi. She was reported missing in June 2022 when she left home in her quest to travel abroad. The police indicate that the suspect lured the deceased to Accra on June 17, 2022, and took her to Mankesim under the pretext of preparing her to travel to Holland. However, the police state that she was killed by them. The two pretended to be travel agents and prepared a traveling document for her to travel to the Netherlands. The family of the deceased, we are told by the police, have visited the Cape Coast Teaching Hospital morgue, and then they have retrieved the body or identified them. The accused also led the police to arrest a 26-year-old Mason in Mankesim in connection with the murder of Georgina Asobuchi. The third suspect was arrested in Mankesim by the police. He initially denied he dug the hole, but eventually he had to admit that he indeed dug the two holes, and then he was paid 50 Ghana cedis. They were paid in two installments, 30 Ghana cedis the first installment and 20 Ghana cedis the first installment. So the policemen are currently stationed at the the house of Tufuhine, the chief, where two holes have also been dug in two separate rooms. And so there are patrol teams that are also patrolling the area currently. Emefa.
Richard, so in all, how many persons have they confessed to killing so far? And could there be more? So
currently, the police said that they have confessed to killing 3, and 2 of the bodies, Georgina Asoboche, we all know, and then the latest Gloria Yeboah, the family have also identified. The male in connection with that, they are also following up on that. But the people are still giving the police information, and so we cannot conclusively say that they have confessed to only these 3 murders.
And when is their case in court starting?
So on Tuesday, October 4, the 2 are back in court. You know, their pleas were not taken by the court, and so they had to go on and remand into police custody for further investigations to be conducted.
And what's really the general talk in town about this particular incident then?
Come again?
I'm asking about the general talk in town about this particular incident.
Well, for the entire Mankesim township, they are worried, they are distraught because they can't come to terms with the fact that someone who is the president of the Traders and Marketers Association of that place would be associated with something like that. And sometimes they chant and they would want to do something physically to the man if they saw him.
That's our Central Regional Correspondent, Richard Kojunyako.
Upon consultation with the industry and in view of the challenges enumerated above, I have very reluctantly decided to grant a final conditional extension.
A final conditional extension granted reluctantly. Today is September 30, and if by October 1, less than 12 hours away, you have not re-registered your SIM, you will not be able to make or receive calls. In simple terms, your SIM cards will be rendered useless. Thousands of Ghanaians are today racing to re-registration centers to either get their Ghana cards or have telecommunication companies register them. There are multiple legal actions seeking to stop this whole exercise, but the NCA says until government gives a contrary directive, the sanctions will be imposed. Dr. Opoku Eduse is Director of Legal at the NCA.
No case will be determined, but we are aware, even though I'm yet to be given a copy formally through the service processes, that that case which was withdrawn, they had sought to remedy that defect by refiling it. This time around, making sure that the Commissioner for Vote has actually endorsed the document that we did before filing. So once we are giving copies formally, we will respond to it.
One of the intentions of the case was to stop the intended action.
Well, what I can say is that the directive was
Round. You just heard from Dr. Pokwedu says, Director of Legal at the NCA. My colleague Michael Ashale is monitoring the situation since it started today. Michael, we understand many have showed up in their numbers. Let's first talk about the Ghana card registration.
Yes, so for those at the
Somebody will pick up. As I'm talking to you, I'm from Ningo Pram Pram. And I'll pick up from there to this place. I'll leave all my church activities. To that I'm talking to you, I have a program to attend. You see the way I'm dressed from here to the program straight, because I don't know the time I'll even, finish what I'm doing. So it's a whole lot. You pick car, you come here, they say it's not ready, you come and spend your whole day here without doing anything. And Ghana here, when you miss a work just a day, they will deduct you from your salary. We are all working.
Have you registered your SIM card though?
Not yet. Yeah, the Ghana card is not ready. How can I register my SIM card?
But they're going to block you regardless. 5 p.m. I want to believe that when the talk was closed, that's the end.
That is why today I'm here. So that probably if maybe before that time I was able to get my Ghana card, I can rush to the MTN center to go and register my SIM.
Well, Papani, so that's the situation with the Ghana card registration and people trying to get it. How about the SIM re-registration itself and the telcos? What exactly is the situation?
Emefa, most of the places, at least for one particular telco, nearly every center that I'm
me me store when ntina me betra sa so almost not to akanya djuma till ya to musa ya nim de abaye
I didn't know now about SIM card you register you.
My ya da nso na no mo block no mo block media mo say ambassador no munte was min samba ye ntina ma samba no ah so mo chwa mo de asamba fro mo so anya mo kwa na mo ye we no ma kwa life fro.
Now, she tells me that she's been here for a couple of days. Now, 3 days, she tells me, and every single time she's had to endure hardship, including the surprising rains that just falls at any time. At Osu Oxford Street, she's lucky to be under this tent. But
so that's a Michael Papani Ashale there, out and about in some parts of Accra. My colleague Latif Idris has been covering other parts of Accra as well. Latif, where have you been to and what can you report? Hello, Latif. Well, it doesn't look like we have Latif Idris. Let me take you to the Ashanti region now. And Emmanuel Bright Kweku has also been doing the same checks in the Ashanti region. And he will also join us shortly with details of what exactly the situation is. Bright, bring us up to speed on the situation in the Ashanti region.
All right, Emefa. So in the Ashanti region, most of these telecommunication subscribers tell us it's because the network has jammed. That is why they are unable to have their SIM cards registered. So they are hoping that by the end of today, if their SIM cards are not registered, they are just going to throw it away and then find another alternative or buy a new SIM card. So most of them are just in queues. They are waiting that by the end of the day, if the network is not restored, they would have to throw the SIM cards away. That is if their SIM cards are blocked today.
Well, that's my colleague Emmanuel Bright Kweku with the situation in the Ashanti region. Gafaru Ali is a legal practitioner. He represents some of the individuals who have sued the NCA. For him, he hopes that the imposition of the sanctions will be put on hold because of the legal action.
Both the Attorney General and the NCA have all been set to the injunction.
But that will be late in the day. Do you know if the NCA is respecting at least the filing of the process? Because, I mean, once it's not been heard, it's not been granted.
No, I know that both the NCA and the Attorney General have very good lawyers. And so once that they have been served, I would hope that they will get, and I have no doubt that they will get advice from their lawyers as to what to do.
So what are the reliefs you are seeking from the court ultimately?
For now, our focus is on the interlocutory injunction, which is to restrain them from going ahead to carry out the threat that they issued in their press release.
Well, the deputy ranking on Parliament's Communications Committee, Sam George, says further legal actions will be taken against the NCA should it proceed to impose sanctions.
I will use your platform to serve notice to the telcos that they are criminally liable if they proceed with the illegal directive from the minister and the regulator. They have a contract with their clients, and that is why.
Minority spokesperson on communications, this is definitely an issue that we are watching out for today. But let's move on to some other stories. And inadequate personnel and logistics support are hampering the work of the Customs Division of the Ghana Revenue Authority at the country's second busiest land border at Elubo in the Western region. That's according to the officer in charge of general duties there, CRO Dan Menia, who was at the border this morning. His visit follows a joint news investigation which uncovered custom officials confessing to bribe taking to assist smugglers and dealers to transport thousands of cooking oil from neighboring Togo and Ivory Coast to local markets. Well, we can hear from the GRA. They have a statement on this, and my colleague Kwekwa Sante joins me in studio with details on this. What steps exactly has the GRA taken to deal with the matter?
So, Emefa, they first say that they are extending their appreciation to Joy News and Joy FM for bringing these alleged smuggling activities to their attention, and that these are the specific actions they are taking. The preventive wing of the Customs Division of GRA has in place a task force to tackle smuggling at border points nationwide. The Customs Division regularly carries out arrests of smugglers, having the taking out these people from the country and other such unscrupulous persons. They are saying that they want Ghanaians to report such conduct to them whenever they find any. And this is signed by Florence Asante, the Communications and Public Affairs Manager.
Okay, thank you very much, Kweku. But according to the CRO, also Dan Menia, who was at the border this morning, his office will be able to generate more revenue for the country if they are provided with more quad bikes and drones for monitoring activities.
We want an injection of
Lubo border now, where my colleague Maxwell Agbagba is there for us. He joins us on the line. Maxwell, what exactly is the situation there?
Yes, Emefa, we are one of the unapproved routes here at Elubo. It is only the River Tano that separates Ghana from Ivory Coast. Where we are currently is a large swathe of land. It's a thicket, an area of trees.
A chief alleged to be involved in the murder of a nursing student, confessing to killing 2 more people. We brought you chilling details, including the arrest of people who dug the hole where the victims were buried. When we return, we have sports and then understanding the man who often takes a controversial stance on national issues.
I've never been happy with Asamoah up to today.
Too much shouting connotes an absence of intelligent thinking. Asha 2, Asha 3, Asha 1. Who is this girl? Asha this, Asha that, Asha that. What is it about that?
I bet you thought you've seen it all. You must have thought you've watched it all. Gomorrah is a new exciting series about the conflict that rises between the wealthy and the poor. Watch Gomorrah exclusively on Aquaba Magic, DSTV channel 150, Go TV channel 101, and Aquaba Magic Ebusian DSTV channel 149 and Go TV channel 108. With as little as 50 Ghana cedis on DSTV Access and 25 Ghana cedis on Go TV Value. Gomorrah. Emre Dane.
Thanks for staying with us here on the Midday News. Let's do sports.
Yes, Emefa, the Black Stars have had a mixed bag of results recently, losing 3-0 at the hands of Brazil and earning a slim 1-0 win against Nicaragua, who occupy the 139th spot in the FIFA rankings. Many Ghanaians are pessimistic about the team's chances at the World Cup, but FIFA high performance specialist Faisal Chipsa believes the team is capable of making it to the last 4 of the Mundial.
One thing that I think our technical team now have brought, which again I'm happy with, is to reduce that noise. Reduce that noise. So now we have a positive environment where they can try new things, they can pass on their ideas of football, and I think we should calm down, just like you said. Look beyond the World Cup, in my opinion. What's next after that? But at the same time, we still have to go and compete. You know, so I like what they're doing. I like the players that have come in. Unfortunately, we just don't have enough time to get to know ourselves and what works well for us. But we still have to go and perform.
How well do you think we can do at the World Cup?
How well?
How well?
If we get to the final 4, I'll be happy.
Yeah, Emefa, do you think it's possible?
That's possible. Final 4, very possible.
Are you hopeful?
No, but it's possible.
Okay,
Thank you very much. Well, former president of the Bankers Association of Ghana, Alhassan Andani, is urging caution and protection for depositors following revelation savings of over 1.4 million depositors could be in danger in the yet-to-start domestic debt restructuring program by government. Debt restructuring, we know, is a major requirement for a deal with the International Monetary Fund for a bailout. Ms. Andani tells Joy News the implications for the country if depositors cannot have access to their money will be dire.
I don't envy any head of a bank now. The impact has come right to the household level. You know, household credits, people's ability to even just do basic savings. And therefore, the banks literally have to deal with all of the risks. Number one is solvency risk, which is to ensure that whatever their commitments are primarily to their customers, they can meet it. So they need to have significant liquidity preservation. How to preserve liquidity when people see or sense a threat that they may lose it one way or the other, or they may lose value. Are they going to take it out and try and transmute it into something physical which they can touch, or they want to still leave it in the bank? And then also, you've already used the previous liquidity you mobilized to create real assets in the economy, i.e. loans and advances you've given for households, firms, and even to government. Those are all now being threatened because the earning ability of households, firms, and even government to pay back interest and principal is challenged.
Alhassan Andani there speaking on PM Express Business Edition with George Riafe. Now, he served as bodyguard to Ghana's first president, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. But after retiring over 3 decades ago, Mr. Bluko is left to survive on a meager pension allowance of 47 Ghana cedis. This is making life unbearable for the octogenarian. Enjoy Prime's latest feature titled The Last Guard. My colleague Emmanuel Jivenu traveled to Adiduma to speak to the veteran.
Called Christian Bluku, born here in Adiduma, 1938.
Christian Bluku
He's now 85 years old and resides in Mafe, Adidome, a community in the Volta region's Central Tong district. He spent most of his formative years here. After elementary school, Christian went to learn tailoring and later enlisted in the Workers' Brigade.
I was born like a natural soldier.
Ghana, land of freedom. In 1960, when Ghana became a republic, Mr. Bluku's cousin, a medical doctor, had just returned from abroad. Bluku's family asked him to go and stay with his cousin in Accra for a supposed better life. His visit to Accra eventually brought him closer to the corridors of power.
From that place, they came while I was calling after probation. Then he sent me to Castle. Then they confirmed me as a bodyguard to Nkrumah. Then they put me in protection. Because Nkrumah at times used to go out in the night. So we'll be doing that. At times we used to go to seaside, the Brass Star spread to consult this in the spiritual way, pray, doing prayer like how we can't hear we pray. No, so he also used to do that. And go to the seaside and pray there, this and that. There are certain things he also do.
Life has been difficult for the visually impaired old man. He stays here all alone. He explains how he survives on a meager 47 Ghana cedi monthly pension allowance, which is not even paid on time.
Unfortunately, I don't know when I go to bank. They are reducing the tea. Now, if I go, they say, bank cost. They have to take the cost also out of your pay. First was 50, then they are reducing it. Now they say 40.
That's that documentary, The Last Guard, on Joy Prime. Now, President Akufo-Addo has been trending on social media after being booed at the Global Citizens Festival. But guess who took the president's heat? Katie Hammond, Asokwa MP. He has also been battling social media since Tuesday after criticizing the youth for being unruly and disrespectful. Why would Katie Hammond choose to go against the tide and defend the president? Joy News features editor Jojo Kobna has been searching for answers.
Asha 2, Asha 3, Asha 1. Who is this girl? Asha this, Asha that, Asha that. What is it about that?
Member of Parliament for Asokwa, Kobna Tahir Hammond, is in Parliament for the 6th term. His long stay in Parliament has earned him a nickname.
Honorable Katie Hammond, yes, it is true that you were installed as the senior prefect of the House.
His long tenure has been punctuated with controversies. Remember his Volta region voter registration comment.
Togolese and the Voltarians, remember the history. Professor, if you guys know the history about this place, basically the same tribe. So they walk in, come, but they are not Ghanaians.
He later fought back, arguing that his words were taken out of context.
Do you then regret making those statements?
Nonsense. What do you mean by, you see, you are compounding the situation by this question you just asked. Why do I regret when I was stating a fact? Togolese are not Ghanaians, unless, of course, you have some definition of Togolese, which means Ghana. I don't know.
To the media, he is friendly and a frank interviewee. He is always ready to give a jab or two to his opponents.
He was playing with the big inflammable fire.
And so what would be your advice to him?
Oh, go where you been.
When the public protested Parliament's plans to build a new parliamentary chamber, Katie Hammond was one of the MPs who staunchly defended the decision.
Parliament won't sit under trees.
When the youth at the Global Citizens Festival booed President Akufo-Addo, all his ardent supporters remained deafeningly silent. To defend the president, Katie Hammond chose to swim against the tide.
Too much shouting connotes an absence of intelligent thinking. Always shouting and shouting, you're not thinking. Who doesn't know that times are hard?
In spite of an avalanche of social media attacks, he holds his ground. Katie Hammond is a friend like no other. He loves the Black Stars, but there's one player he's not happy with.
Asamoah reported me to President Kufuor that I'd made statements to the effect that they were messing with our hearts. I wasn't there, but Mr. Speaker, you know, even walls have ears. Those who were there came and told me, my friend, you were in trouble. I've never been happy with Asamoah up to today. And come to think about it, look at what he did to us, a penalty.
I have come to one conclusion. Katie Hammond is one man who cannot be gagged. Jojo Kobna, Joy News.
Who is this girl?
And I have more laughter guaranteed for you this weekend. It's on the 1st and the 2nd of October. You have a wife. It's time for you to run for her. If you don't, you still have to run for your future wife. George Quay is putting together this world best written comedy ever. Joins us on the line. George, what are we to expect tomorrow, for instance?
Emefa, laughter, and nothing but laughter, to put it bluntly. I mean, this is going to be the biggest comedy gift you can give to yourself this year. And I would entreat everybody to join us at the National Theatre, 4 p.m. and 8 p.m. each day. That is Saturday and Sunday, 1st and 2nd of October.
And you can't miss this. It will be at the National Theatre, 1st and 2nd October, 4 p.m., 8 p.m. I'll catch you there. There's more news when you log on to myjoyonline.com. Top stories there. Police confirm another murder orchestrated by Mankasim suspect. Same re-registration. National Security has warned Akufo-Addo against blockage. That's the Deputy Minority Chief Whip. That and more on myjoyonline.com. Living Word with Pastor Mensel Tabil is up next. I am Emefa Apawu. Join me.